If you're like me, you're probably in your 20s, building something, a career, a company, a life in a city which wasn't the city where you grew up in. And your mom calls. She's fine, nothing's wrong. She just wanted to talk. You said you'd call her back the same night, but you don't. You want to be home more often, but you also want to work on building your life and building your identity as an adult. And you really can't fully do both. Not the way things are set up right now, at least. Today, 1 in every 9 Indian is over 60. But by 2046, there will be more elderly people in India than children. Older, richer, fewer. But the sad part is that nothing is being built for them. In India, taking care of your parents is a part of your responsibility as a son or a daughter. You grow up, you earn, and the expectation is that you will take care of the people who took care of you when you were younger. It's how we're raised. It's also love that's expressed as duty. For most of Indian history, this worked because of how our families were structured. Joint families, 3 generations under the same roof. But today, most families in India are nuclear families, where about 52% of all families are a family of 4. Your brother is in Bangalore, your sister is in Dubai, but your parents, they live in a tier 2 city in India, wondering why their house feels so empty. And even if you physically are with your parents, they might still feel not great because of a lack of a sense of community. No peers, no reason to leave the house. Your presence alone does not solve for their requirements. What also ends up becoming is that you become their entire social world. And that's not healthy for either you or your parent. And this isn't a problem that you and I can solve by just spending more time with our parents or being more available for them. It's actually a structural gap. And structural gap also creates markets. Japan hit this exact problem decades before us. 29% of the population is over the ages of 65. They are the most aged society on earth. And instead of treating it as a crisis, they built around it. Look at Okinawa, one of the world's 5 blue zones. Places where people consistently live past the ages of 100. Researchers went there expecting to find some miracle diet or some genetic advantages that those people have.
Jimmy, does he mackerel, stir-fried pumpkin mixed with pork, potato, mixed with Okinawa seaweed called mozuku.
Itadakimasu.
But what they ended up finding out is that the solution is much simpler. The solution is community. In Okinawa, the elderly people have a community or a small group called the Moai, which is a group of 5 or 6 people which they had already formed during childhood that meet regularly, not for an event or an occasion, not a hobby group. It's just a commitment that they will be there for each other. These people check in on each other, eat together, share experiences when someone is struggling. This becomes their reason to show up somewhere every single day, every single week for decades together. Their neighborhoods are walkable. There are community gardens. Group exercise is a big thing which happens every morning in public spaces. And the infrastructure is broadly designed, keeping older people in mind and also helping them stay connected, stay active, and also live a life of purpose. Japan didn't solve this by building more hospitals. They solved this by making sure that the people never get isolated in the first place, that they actually need to go to the hospital. The healthcare system is very important, but it is the community that keeps people alive. And now, let's look at India. There are 20,000 organized senior living units, but the demand is 20 lakhs. That's 1% in terms of penetration. The playbook already exists, but we just haven't built it yet. So who's solving for this? And what does good actually look like in India? You might say that we already have old age homes, but that phrase and that structure alone has to die, because the whole term of old age homes kind of indicates and implies that you abandoned your parents. And that's not what we're trying to do here. We're trying to make sure that they have a sense of community and infrastructure that is catered around them to make sure that they live a good life as they grow older. And this is going to be true for us as we age as well. So what we actually need is community living designed for this stage of our lives. Wheelchair friendly, common spaces for people to eat together, to exercise together, and also giving them a reason to leave their room every morning. Think about what we have already built for young people, young professionals over the last decade or so. Co-living, co-working, we have a WeWork, we have a Cult Fit, we have community-driven run clubs, which is all designed around connection and convenience. But the good part is that some players are already building in this space. Primers, for example, just raised a $20 million seed round from General Catalyst and Nikhil Kamath. Imoha, another elder care company, raised $12 million, which is basically building a membership-based elder care service. Yeah, I mean, there are companies that are being funded, but here's the number that puts into perspective on how early all this is. The total funding across all Indian elder care startups last year was $22.5 million. That's less than what a single D2C brand raises in their Series B. For a market that is projected to hit $12 billion by 2030, the government is moving too, but just slowly. Ayushman Bharat expanded to cover all citizens over the ages of 70, regardless of income. 5 lakh rupees in free health coverage. That's 16 million people. IRDAI too has removed the age ceiling for buying insurance. These are real steps, but they are also healthcare steps. The social infrastructure, the community, the belonging, the purpose, that is something that we definitely need to solve for. The older, richer, fewer is going to be a demographic shift. And you can either choose to panic about how there's nothing built for it, or actually look at it as an opportunity. It's also one of the biggest market if you think about it, because Indians are going to be one of the oldest populations in the next few decades or so. And in a world with a Cult, a WeWork, a Zomato, and co-living spaces for 25-year-olds, it's broadly catered towards younger people. But at the same time, this market is definitely going to open up. And it is something that we have to build for the next generation and also for our future self in many ways.